Greetings Platinum Hunters and welcome to another episode of Platinum Trophy Review, or PTR for short. Make sure to bring your dodge game, have something heavy to hit with, and prepare to face every trope in the book in this week's game, the Callisto Protocol. So, what is the Callisto Protocol? Well, the Callisto Protocol is a 2022 survival horror action video game developed by Striking Distance Studios and published by Krafton. It was directed by Glenn Schofield, who had previously co-created the Dead Space series. The game's story follows Jacob Lee, who is sent to a prison facility set on the Jehovian moon Callisto, fighting against infected prisoners with an unknown disease while uncovering dark secrets of the facility. The Callisto Protocol has a total of 27 trophies, 7 gold, 9 silver, 10 bronze, and of course, 1 platinum trophy. Now, before I continue, I believe it is extremely important to understand how this game works and plays so that your frustration will be reduced to the minimum if you attempt to platinum this game. Although there are guns in this game, they are not, as the cool kids would say, the main character, but more of a supporting cast. Ammo is few and far between. You cannot hold a lot, and certain enemies are bullet sponges. This game's combat in general revolves around its melee combat, so get used to the idea that you will be beating enemies back with your prison security stick. Next up, the dodge mechanic. How this works is as the enemy is about to attack you, move the left joystick either to the left or right. Now, you don't have to wait just as he's about to attack you to move the joystick. As the enemy is running towards you, you can be holding down the joystick already, and as he attacks you, you will automatically dodge. Now, with that being said, enemies will either attack you once, twice, or 3 times in a row before they tire. So make sure to move the joystick in the opposite direction at least 3 times to avoid taking damage. Obviously, if the enemy only attacks you once, then wail on him and don't just stand there moving side to side. One final note, when it is your turn to attack, do not go for more than 2 hits, as enemies' attacks will go through yours and you will take damage. So 2 hits, dodge, and 2 hits again. This is the best way to attack until you get your pistol. With the pistol, you can pull off a longer combo. When you get your 2 hits, a blue target will sometimes show up on the enemy. Aim and shoot and you will temporarily stun him. Here you can get 2 more hits, so FYI. The Callisto Protocol has 2 trophies tied to difficulty. I Do Belong Here is to beat the game on any difficulty, and the Protocol is About Life is to beat the game on maximum difficulty. I strongly suggest 2 playthroughs. One on the easier setting so you get a feel of the gameplay mechanics, and more importantly, to know what to look out for when playing on the harder setting. When playing on maximum difficulty, you will still face the same amount of enemies, though they will hit much harder. Bosses and mini-bosses will 9 out of 10 times insta-kill you. A downside is that cutscenes are unskippable, so I'll leave this decision up to you. Now, with that being said, let's get straight into the trophies, so you know what to expect when you crash land on this dead moon. As always, we will begin with the collectibles and avoid all story related trophies. Callisto has 8 chapters with 43 collectibles scattered between all 8 of them. These are in-plan bios that can be found randomly on tables, the floor, or on deceased personnel. Funnily enough, when I picked up collectible number 42, the trophy Grim Reaper popped, so FYI for that. I will leave a link to the video I used for this. The Commonality Trophy you will unlock naturally if you are following the collectible guide, as there are 2 collectibles, one in chapter 3 and the other in chapter 6 that are in secret rooms. Like I previously stated, if you're following the guide, you will get this no problem. You Need a Gun is to fully upgrade one weapon. If you are playing on easy, I would suggest that you upgrade your pistol as it is the quickest option, and if you are playing on hard, upgrade the shotgun that you get in chapter 5. You should have enough credits to upgrade both these weapons, but you will not have enough credits to upgrade everything. I do believe that New Game Plus is coming to this game in February, so if you plan to get this game at a later date, the New Game Plus option will definitely be a big help for the maximum difficulty setting. Enjoying this video so far? Well, it would be really cool if you would press that red subscribe button over there, as this helps the channel to grow. Hit that like button and drop a comment on your thoughts about the Callisto Protocol. All interaction is greatly appreciated. Get a Grip is to grab 25 enemies with the GRP, aka the glove that you will eventually get during your playthrough in Chapter 3. Terminated is to take down a security robot. The first chance you will get at this will be towards the end of Chapter 3. Stay a good distance and near cover, and shoot it once in the back to get its attention. Then aim for the head. Take 3 shots max, then get behind cover as it will open fire on you. Repeat until it falls down. Don't forget to stamp on the recently defeated robot, press triangle, as this will drop a decoder that is worth 500 credits. In striking distance is to kill an enemy via GRP and melee combo. This will take a few tries, but the TLDR is to weaken an enemy, grab him with the GRP and throw him against the wall. You can't just throw him randomly anywhere, it has to be against the wall. Once done, the next melee hit must kill him. Try a heavy attack for this, R1. Like I stated, this will take some practice, but once you fully understand what must be done, this will be a much easier task to do. Giving back is to stab 5 blind enemies in the back. These spawn in Chapter 6 and are everywhere. There is no way you cannot get this. Just make sure to not mess up, as if you make a noise, you are facing at least 5 or more enemies running up on you. And trust me, that is not a good time. Float like a butterfly is to achieve 5 perfect dodges. You will know you have done a perfect dodge when time slows down. Now this is a bit tricky, as you will need to wait until the last second to dodge. I did read somewhere that the best way to do this was to tap the joystick to the side instead of outright holding it down, but this is pretty much luck based. Best attempted on easy. Flesh Wound requires you to take both arms off an enemy, either with melee or ranged weapons. I got this in Chapter 2 without even trying, so this should come naturally during your playthrough. The next 2 trophies go hand in hand. Workplace Hazard is to use the GRP to launch an enemy into an environmental kill. And Chew 'em Up is to get 10 environmental kills. Just look out for the spikes on the walls and use them to thin out enemy numbers, as this is incredibly useful. Don't just run in there swinging. Use spikes, fans and ledges to get enemies off you. One of the last trophies we will be talking about is a story related one, but I believe I can give you a few pointers to make this much easier. 2 heads are better than 1 is a mini boss fight you will face at the end of Chapter 6. You will need to ride the tram to the next station, and while doing so, surprise surprise, you will get attacked by multiple enemies. Now, before you start the tram, you will find 4 crates with goodies in them. Open them all and prioritize having as many batteries for the GRP as possible, as we'll be using it a lot very soon. Drop any unnecessary items, all in one place may I add. Don't worry, you'll be able to retrieve them once the fight is done. So, we start the tram and get ready for the 4 waves of enemies incoming. Look at the direction you are headed in, and they will attack right, front, left, and lastly from behind. Right and left enemies will climb on the tram. Throw them off with the glove, or 1 shotgun shell to the face will make them die instantly. Obviously, shoot them before they get on the tram. Front and back enemies will jump down. Use the GRP to either throw them over the edge or into the fans. Remember, these enemies are mutated and therefore have much more health and hit much harder. Once all waves are done, prepare for the mini boss fight. Pick up all the ammo you can and have the shotgun fully loaded and at the ready. When you hear the automated voice about personnel wearing headgear, prepare your anus, because big old 2 head about to drop. Now this fight looks daunting but is really simple. He will throw 1 punch at you. dodge it, and unload 1 or 2 shotgun shells to his person. Repeat this. When he kneels, run up to him and hit him with the baton. Standard attacks, R2. No heavy attacks, as the standard attacks will hit him on the head. This will make him get up and tear the dead half of him off. Phase 2 of the fight will begin. Just repeat what you did earlier and you should have him beat in no time. I will try and have a video of how I did this linked, so look out for that. Now, if you've done everything right, the last trophy should be finishing the game on maximum difficulty. By this time, you should have the mechanics of the game down to a T. Just remember the areas where you will face numerous enemies and plan accordingly. The final boss on hard gave me more problems than I anticipated. You can't just go in there guns a-blazing, as you will find yourself with no ammo, like I did several times. Also, hitting him with the baton in the stage 2 fight does nothing. So, F the developer who thought of that. The TLDR to this fight is you will face the boss in his near-human-like form. Here, no problem. Prepare to dodge at least 6 attacks in a row and try and conserve your ammo. He will then mutate, and this is where the fun begins. He will have a protective layer over his head that you will need to destroy to be able to do damage. So, when the phase 2 fight starts, do a 180 and along that passageway you will find 3 gas canisters that you can throw at him. This will get his first layer down. Introduce his face to the shotgun, and when he puts on the protective layer again, play Ring Around the Rosie with him with the table in the middle of the room. Now, 2 crawling exploding enemies will spawn. Be on the lookout for them. Grab them using the GRP and throw them into the boss man. This will damage his layer and they will drop ammo. 4 rounds of this and you should have this in the bag. I was streaming this fight and was getting my ass handed to me. So I took a 10-minute break, watched how PowerPix did it. He uses the assault gun for this, but I did my whole playthrough with just the handgun and shotgun, fully upgraded of course. And when I next attempted to beat him, I got it on my first try, so yay for me. Once all the head bashing, vent crawling, and bridge collapsing under you is complete, you should be the proud owner of an ultra rare 3.6 Platinum Trophy. So, is it worth playing Callisto Protocol for its Platinum? Well, gamers in the know are aware of the mixed reviews for this game. I would just like to reiterate that what I do here is not review the game in itself, but the experience of getting said game's Platinum. So, with that being said, this game is not god-awful, nor the groundbreaking game we thought it would be. It is just an average horror game that is just not that scary. Which I will add is a good thing for me, as I do scare very easy, and abuses horror tropes a little too much. Enemy variation is few and far between, and the melee combat could have used more time in the oven, as just having a dodge mechanic and nothing else is doing the bare minimum. Story is the same bland bare bones, we've seen this before, and nothing new has been brought to the table. It is a pity that the developers that brought us the original Dead Space dropped the ball so hard on this one, but it is not all doom and gloom for Callisto. Visuals are amazing, 10 out of 10. The music does bring the tension in those moments when you're walking around in the dark, and gameplay is competent. The trophy side of things, everything is relatively straightforward and easy when you know what needs to be done. No overcomplicated trophies, nothing is glitched, and a decent experience from a decent game. Should you play Callisto Protocol? I believe you should, but at a discounted price. I would make the argument that this is the perfect game for someone who wants to dip their toes in the horror genre. The Callisto Protocol's Platinum Trophy is a 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching and making it this far in the video. I hope you found this Platinum review helpful. More videos like these can be found on my channel, so consider subscribing as I'm really pushing for 1000 subscribers. While you're at it, don't forget to like and comment. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.